I'd like to say thank you everyone for joining the session today. We have a very amazing speaker, and then I have a session, someone in the session today with me, who is Melanie. I would like to see you, Melanie. She's with me today for the session, and I would like someone to read for us my sister's keeper before we start. I will just get anyone who can unmute their mic and read for us. To be nice. Thank you.
Hello. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, Janet here. I am my sister's keeper. I'll build my sister up, encourage her, empower her, and pray for her. I have no reason to talk about her, tear her down, be jealous of her, or compete with her. I'm going to stand behind her into her destiny. Amen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So today is an interesting session. I don't want to preempt what Eileen has for us. She's a lady who has been a coach and who has something for us today. So I'm going to go on ahead and invite Melanie to come on and introduce our guest for today.
Thank you, Primera. Once again, I would love to take this opportunity to welcome each of you to this beautiful space. And I hope you're all excited.
Hi, Melanie.
And today's speaker she's a certified executive coach. She's a managing consultant and facilitator. Different
Hi, we can't hear you very well. We can't hear you very well. Hello. So let me just read about Eileen. Eileen, you're very welcome to today's session. So Eileen is a certified executive coach and management consultant, trainer and facilitator, and she has been working and she has 15 years experience working in different capacities within the private and development sectors. The British Council in Uganda, Barclays Bank, the International Finance Corporation, World Bank. She offered business advisory support to SMEs across Uganda, Kenya, Ghana, Rwanda to create and stay relevant. Eileen holds an MBA with the University of South Wales in the UK. She's a certified mental fitness coach with positive intelligence. She is a certified international trainer facilitator with the LPI Learner Performance Institute in the UK. And she holds a bachelor's degree in social sciences from Macquarie University and training from Harvard Business School. She is a co-founder, she's a founder and CEO of Linkit Management Solutions, and she is currently the director of the Coach Africa Academy. Eileen, you're very welcome. I would ask you to introduce yourself a little more. There's a lot to you. That's just a tiny, tiny little bit of what you are. Thank you so much. Please go ahead and start the session.
Thank you, Primera. I hope that everyone is able to hear me. It's a real privilege for me to be here, to be sharing about how women can create impact and influence in their various spaces. Pamela, kindly give me sharing rights. Thank you.
You should have rights.
All right. All right. So our topic today, ladies and gentlemen on the call, is about women rising to impact and influence. How does that sound? I know Melanie is going to be reading for me comments in the chat section. I'm a very conversational person. I won't take this call till the end without interacting with you. So get ready to play with me. The space is open. But before we kick off, I would like us to do a grounding meditation or a grounding exercise together. And with that said, I'd like you to switch on your cameras, your videos, if you can, for those that can. And I just would like us to sit up straight, make sure your back is straight on your seat. Okay? And I'll invite you to close your eyes. Just shut out the world. Just close your eyes and just be quiet with your back straight on your chair. Make sure your feet are straight on the floor. And this is what we're going to do. With your eyes closed, just take in a deep breath, a real deep breath. Push the air into your stomach and then let it out. Breathe out through your mouth as if you're blowing through a straw. Let's try it. Take in a deep breath. And then out. Take in another one. And then out. Feel free to make a sigh as you let that air out. Take in another deep breath. As you take it in, tell yourself gently that you breathe in calmness and you breathe out anxiety. Let's go. In. And out. Last one. Last one. Take in a last one. In. Breathe in calmness. Ooh. And you let out anxiety. Right, and with your eyes still closed, apart from Melanie, who is admitting people in, let's try to take our attention away from what has been happening through the day. I know as ladies, we are nurturers, we are working, we are busy supporting or taking care of other people. Let's try to push all of this away. Let's try to get our attention away from our to-do lists. Just try to focus on our awareness right now in this moment. Just make sure you are present with yourself where you are. Shut off all the distraction. And as you do that, I'd like you to imagine that you are in a learning circle with other women on this call. You're seated in a circle, and you're holding each other's hands, and you are cheering each other on. You're creating space for other people to be a part of the circle. So we are getting more and more ladies into this learning space, holding hands, holding each other's hands, celebrating our strength and our wisdom, which we are bringing into this learning circle, allowing each other to be It doesn't matter where we're coming from. It doesn't matter what we have been up to. We are in this space, happy that we are present. And out of this circle, as your facilitator today, I'd like to invite you to just allow your genius to be present in this space. Invite your brilliance. Invite those times when you are courageous, when you are bold, when you are sharing, and when you are happy to learn from the others, happy to listen in from the wisdom that is being shared by other women on this call. We're feeling that space. All right, let's open our eyes now and just bring our awareness into the session. Thank you so much. Those eyes are still closed. Okay, I'm glad that we are all here. But before I kick off the session, I would like us to make 3 internal commitments, and I'd like volunteers. 3 volunteers, 1 to read commitment number 1, the other to read commitment number 2, and the 3rd person to read commitment number 3. Who would like to volunteer? If you're happy to volunteer, just unmute and read the first statement for us. Thank you. When you don't volunteer, I choose you.
Commit to put yourself and your empowerment first for the next 90 minutes.
Yes, thank you so much. I didn't get your name. I think that's Justine or
Sorry,
commit
this is
to put, okay. Commit to put yourself and your empowerment first for the next 90 minutes. Thank you. Next, please.
Commit to celebrate, mirror, and amplify the brilliance and power of other women on the call.
Fantastic. And the third commitment?
Commit to share from a place of power and possibility so that we keep the energy up on the call.
Great. Let's commit to share from a place of power. All right. Thank you so much. So with that said, I know that when you had the call, when Primera shared about today's topic, there must have been bulbs that went off in your mind. There must have been a reason as to why you went and registered and now you're seated on this call. I'd like to know, what are your expectations out of this session? And I'll ask Primera or Melanie to read them from the chat. Feel free, utilize the chat. Just share quickly, what are your expectations out of the next maybe 90 minutes of our time together? Thank you. Any expectations coming up in the chat box?
Yes, Elaine, we have one from Judith Nsamba. She says, I want to hear tips on how I can be an effective woman leader.
Okay. Thank you so much. Tips on being an effective woman leader. Any other?
None as yet.
Any other?
Thank you, Harriet. Harriet says, learning from women on the call.
Learning from women on the call. All right. I have 49 now, 50 people on the call, so I expect more expectations from you. Let's go.
Justin says,
yes.
Tips on how to stand for what is right in all circumstances. Winfred says, how to make an impact in this post-COVID era. People have been affected in so many ways. Then Janet Bullia says, expect to learn from those ahead of me, how I can be influential where I am or to go. Miriam says, I want to know how to create positive influence around us.
Okay.
Patricia Alum says, how to rise and impact in my profession and business.
How to rise and impact in her profession and business. Keep them coming, keep them coming. Any other?
No.
Right. Thank you so much, Melanie. We'll work with those for now.
Katie says.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Just mention that last one, please, Melanie.
Katie says, I expect a lot of learning from the ladies who have made it in life. Then Rona says to learn from the ladies' experience on how to become a better leader. Hazel says, I want to understand what impact I can have on the world. And Zuza, reframing myself to be influential, even in entering new employment.
Even when entering new employment, she wants to know right from the start how to be influential in that new role. I like that. That's thinking strategically. Right. Any others? Can we continue?
No. Yes, we can continue.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce myself once again, just a bit that was missed out. Eileen Walusumbi Oloya is still my name. I'm a mother of 3 wonderful boys. That's one of the biggest roles I have in this world, and a wife. I'm a learning professional, and I use coaching, I use training, I use facilitating, I use consulting as tools to support people like you or organizations to reach their objectives or to achieve their personal dreams. So I have been doing this for quite some time now. I do engage women leaders, I do engage women executives, women in business, stay-at-home mothers, and men into conversations that are life-changing, into conversations that help them widen their perspectives as they journey on in life. And one of the things that has helped me, or that grounds me to be able to talk about this topic today, is I have learned a lot from personal experiences, but most importantly, from the people I share with, people I work with on a day-to-day basis. So I come today on this call with a grateful heart and with an intention to spur all of us onto this journey of creating impact and influence. So who is ready for this? I'd like to see a yes in the chat. Wave your hand if you're ready for this, or unmute and say, I'm good to go.
Good to go.
Are you good to go? Great. Okay, so you are in the right place. If one, you'd like to identify and break through your inner barriers as a person, this is one of the things we're going to look at. By the end of this session, we should be able to appreciate our role as champions, as catalysts, and as igniters of change. And we should also be able to level up and take inspired action, influence and create the kind of impact that we'd like to see in the world. Anyone for the 3 objectives? Remember, I said we are going to be very conversational, so when I don't hear people speak, I don't move. Are we good to go?
Yes, we are.
Great. So women rising into impact and influence. What does this mean to you? What does it mean for you, for someone, when you hear the statement rising to impact and to influence, what comes to your mind? Let's use one word to be able to explain this. Just that one word that comes to your mind the minute you read the title, Rising to Influence and Impact. Melanie, I guess the chat is coming on, so I'm trusting that you are right there. Any keywords that are coming up?
Yes. Patricia says boldness. Winifred
Pardon?
says courage. We have
Courage.
focus, leadership, hard work,
Leadership.
bold
Work.
goals.
Bold goals, okay. Any others?
Empowered.
Empowered, yes, that's a good word.
Purpose.
Purposeful, yes.
Confidence.
Confidence, that's a good word. You can't rise to impact and influence if you're not confident. All
Legacy.
right. Creating a legacy, great.
And intentional.
Being intentional at whatever it is that we do, that is powerful.
Make changes.
Good?
Make changes.
Making changes. Wow. Yes, making changes. Any other?
Resilient.
Being resilient. All those are key attributes to stepping into a place of creating impact and influence. All of those words, bold, courageous, they all inform our topic this afternoon. And so, as the words keep coming in, I would just like to request your permission this afternoon to challenge you to reach into your highest possibility. You know, to take this time to think about what is it that you have always missed, that you have always shelved, that if you only pay attention to, would move you another mile in your life, in the lives of other people. So I'd like us to have that frame of thought as we continue with the call. Move. And this is Eileen saying that learn to create who you want to be in this life and live from that creation. Even as we step into understanding what our role is, we need to first of all create that it is that we want to be, and then live within that creation, okay? That is what the quotation is about. All right, as I was preparing for this talk this afternoon, I came across very interesting research findings. There's a lady called Claire Zammit. She's the founder of Feminine Power. In her most recent research on women empowerment, I will read this. She discovered that there is an unprecedented massive shift that is happening for millions of women all over the world. That this awakening is calling women to a level of self-actualization. It is happening. It doesn't matter whether you're in Europe or you're in Africa and you're a woman, this shift is already happening, okay? So she says that women as a group are being primed to step forward, be catalysts for change and transformation at a global level. That is research from Claire. And then, the Times Magazine recently, in 2019, shared a research finding that said that women are now in control of over $20 trillion in annual spending, which means that the world is at a brink of a massive power shift, a grinding of gears of history into a new condition in which women, you and me, if you so choose, can seize the reins of economic control. Woo! How does that sound? This is research. These are not Eileen's words. Okay? While there is a lot of evidence to support all of this, another gentleman called Michael Silverstein and Kate Sayer in 2009 said that while this is what is happening globally, women still feel vastly underserved, despite the remarkable strides that women still, despite what is happening, they still feel undervalued within the marketplace and the workplace. My question for all of us is, what is causing this disparity? How can it be so that at one point, at one extreme, we're doing so well, spending over 20 trillion US, and at the other extreme, we're feeling unvalued within the market space? What role can you and me play as individuals or as women to rise to the occasion and create new possibilities in the world? That is the big question. So as we move on, I would like to hear from you. What does the research findings I have just shared, what do they speak to you? Again, in the chat. When you had those research findings, what came to your mind? Melanie?
Yes. We do not have any answers yet.
Wait for the answers. I think they're coming.
Culture norms.
Somebody's saying culture
Yes, they are.
norms. Culture norms.
Yes.
What else? Culture norms. When you had the research findings, what came to your mind?
Lack of confidence that women can make it.
There's a sense that women have lack confidence. Mm-hmm.
We are limiting ourselves with inner barriers.
Pardon?
Limiting ourselves with inner barriers.
We are limiting ourselves because of the inner barriers that we have created. Interesting. Go on. Please keep them coming.
Okay. The opportunity is there. We just need to step up. The research sounds great, but I wondered why. We just need to step up.
Someone is saying that we need to step up as women. The opportunities are already there. What do the rest think? What do the rest
Winfred
think?
says,
Pardon?
the research sounds great, but I wondered why we may not see that reflected in our lives. Is it the trick of multitasking between career, family, and social expectations?
Great question. Someone is saying the opportunities are right there, but what is stopping us? Are we multitasking too much? Great question there.
Yes, then our time is now.
Our time is now. Mm-hmm.
Glass ceiling.
Glass ceiling. Nice.
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt. Mm-hmm.
Not supportive of each other.
We're not supporting each other. All right.
There is a global shift in the ways of thinking.
Okay. There is a global shift in the way that we think.
Women push perfection over progress.
Women are pushing for perfection over progress. Ooh, interesting. Very eye-opening. Any others?
Yes. We need to use our voices more.
We need to use our voices more. We need to use our voices more. I like that.
Lack of financial independence.
Lack of a financial independence.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome.
Stigma from society.
Stigma from society. Wow.
Low
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, team. Thank you for sharing. I like that we are participating in one way or the other. Can you imagine that all of these things are stopping us from stepping into spaces of power? That we know these things. That's for me the most interesting thing. So my question to you would be, what are we doing about them? We know them, but what are we doing about them? Do we feel that they are with us or they are far away from us? Is imposter syndrome far away from you? Is multitasking far away from you? Is lack of confidence far away from you? Or it is with you and there's something that you can do about it? The question is, are you even able to acknowledge this? For some of us, it's not that all of us on the call are not confident. Yeah, some of us are confident in seasons. Some of us don't even know whether we are confident or not. The question is, are we aware of what is happening? Okay, so I'll share with you. Okay. For many years, I served as an employee in several local and international organizations. I worked on great projects. I must tell you, projects that I'm very proud of. And I believe that these projects caused impact in the communities where I worked then. Many times, however, I never paid attention to the nature of impact that I was creating as Eileen. Impact that felt in alignment with my vocation here on earth, or with my purpose here on earth. And for me, everything seemed like, well, it's another job, make an application, do the assignment, another boss, there's a paycheck, and then you resign one morning, and then you jump onto another job, and the cycle went on. That's how I used to live. Busy executing everyone else's plans minus mine. But I didn't even know that I had any big plans. I just used to work. And as the cycle went on, we used to do things. We used to do a lot of execution. Okay? I'll share with you at the World Bank. You've got to execute the plans. Okay? The British Council, that's what we used to do. We used to be very, very tactical when it came to executing organization objectives and, implementing policy, implementing strategy. We did all of those things. We did market our programs worldwide. We did sell programs. We did all of these things, okay? So while in principle, this is okay for us to do, or for employees to do, or for organizations to do, I got to learn many things. This work formed for me a very, very powerful foundation for me to learn and to serve. And I must tell you, my work, did a lot of things in terms of my growth. It contributed a lot to my growth, to my knowledge, to my networks, and so much. And I really appreciate. Now, many of us on this call grew up in a world that was less complex. And when I say less complex, I mean, we have people here who have served in organizations for over 10 years now. I don't know whether you're happy to put up your hand. Do we have such people here? You've been in an organization 7 years, for example. Some are even moving on to 15 to 20 years. Yeah, so we served during that era, or we're still serving, but there's nothing much to disturb us. There are no massive shifts. There are no, I'd like to call them transitions, okay? We're comfortable. I remember I used to have a friend back who had served for 20 years, and she would share with us about the story of Barclays, and I would imagine, my God, would I ever work here for 20 years? So the environment then was very good. There were few job changes, there were hardly any disruptions, and there were no industry. You wouldn't wake up in the morning and there's boom, another industry in the market. Everything seemed to move in a certain way. Yeah. So, even the way that the senior management teams used to plan in those organizations, they would lay strategies for 10 years, 5-year strategy plans, and they work towards the 5 years. Guys, ladies, is that the case now? You in your businesses creating strategies for 10 years? Is it working? Times have changed. Even as entrepreneurs, we're now strategizing on a daily. We are strategizing on a daily. We are in a VUCA environment. We are in an environment that is extremely volatile, extremely uncertain. We're in an environment that is ambiguous. No one is sure about what is going to happen tomorrow. And this environment is also very, very complex. Okay? Meaning that the skills, the attitudes, the behaviors that served us then in the other stable environment can no longer serve us now. So even as women who are positioning ourselves to create impact, we can no longer afford to think the way we used to think 3 years ago. We can't. Now, what does such an environment speak to a woman like you and me? When you look back at our orientations as young girls growing up as women, even being mothers, we are very, very good at handling crisis. Our parents have given us or have mastered us in that skill. We are very good at handling disruptions, okay? We are very flexible beings. We are very versatile beings. You can see this in the way we parent, in the way we support each other. We grow up in our communities, very collaborative. We easily create relationships, okay? We are responsive and very agile. That is who we are inherently. That's how God created us. Now, don't you see that the orientations and natural orientations as women match the environment that we are in right now? Do you see any connections? When we say that we're in a VUCA world now, lots of disruption. All organizations globally are running around. Others have failed to survive the pandemic. They've gone to closure. Yet women, looking back at history, we've been trained to handle these situations. What does that say to you? This is a good time for us. This is a good time for us to show up. Ladies, the work landscape has changed. We live in a new world. A world where we can no longer afford to predict the future basing on the past. Things are happening right in front of our eyes. So we need to be agile, we need to be flexible, we need to fall back to those faulty settings that we have grown with as women, to forge our way forward, to impact or to cause transformational change in our world. So the question you would be asking me right now is, I don't know, my screen is not moving anymore, but maybe I'll just continue. Right, as I work on this screen, I'd like to hear from the ladies. Up till this point, what insights are you getting? What insights are you getting in your mind? Looking at the situation before, the situation, the world we're in right now, what are we being called to do? Melanie? Anyone in
Yes.
the chat box?
No. We have to be very dynamic.
Got to be very dynamic. Excellent. That's excellent thinking. What
Adapt
else?
to the changing world and environment.
Got to adapt, to learn to adapt to the changing environment. Yes. Thank you.
The time is now to show up my capabilities.
Time is now to showcase your capabilities. Thank you.
Learn new skills.
Learn new skills.
Self-awareness is key.
I missed that.
The time is now, ladies. We need to rise to the occasion. No one will do it for us.
We need to rise to the occasion because no one is going to do it for us. Right. As the insights keep coming, I've already shared on the screen that there are 3 key things that we need to think about. We need to get clear about our zone of genius. A zone of genius is that space that we come from that enhances our strength. Looking back at the experiences that we have accumulated as women growing up, working, what are those things? What are we good at? What are we strong at? Do we know at an individual level? I know most of us work for institutions or work for businesses, and we know the strength of our businesses more than we even know our own individual strength. So question is, what are your strengths? Get clear on who you would like to serve. Who would you like to serve? Do you have a picture of the people or the group or the kind of category that you'd like to serve? And this comes back again. It doesn't matter whether you already have a business that is serving a certain category of people. Some of the businesses are closing down after 6 months because they noticed that they're serving the wrong category. Others are starting up without paying attention. They think they're going to serve everyone on the planet. That's impossible. Okay? Even from, an individual perspective, who would you like to serve? Does that question pop up in your mind in your most clear moments? Get clarity about your destiny contribution and start focusing on it. It's not time that is going to come that is being set apart for Nancy, for Sarah, for Eileen to finally start focusing on their destiny contribution. It's not there. It is now. In fact, the earlier we start thinking about these things, the better. It doesn't matter whether you're in a job. It doesn't matter whether you're a busy stay-at-home mother. It doesn't matter whether you're a leader. It doesn't matter whether you own 3 businesses. Okay? What is your destiny contribution going to be like? If you start thinking about it or seeking clarity around that question, then you can start taking baby steps. Start taking simple action. All right? There's a lady here. I hope you know her. Anyone would like to guess her name? I didn't put there her name for a reason. It's just saying that the journey starts here. Let's get into action. Anyone knows the lady on the screen? All right, as we move on, yeah, something much more that I would like to share. I shared a research finding when we started the presentation, and we were talking about women being in gaining economic control, rising to spaces of leadership. If you look at our communities now, you know, more research is showing that women are key in driving development of their communities, okay? If you look at NGOs coming to work in our countries, if you look at multinationals, if you look at hubs, business hubs that are being set up, they are all targeting the woman. Why? Because it's now universally acknowledged that women play a big role, a leadership role within the community space or within the homes. We are natural leaders. So all of these clever people are taking advantage of that. What does that tell you? We are naturally primed to lead, and we are naturally primed to, you know, to develop our spaces to influence. So the onus is upon you and me to take advantage of this new world order. Yeah? To start, you know, taking advantage of the market disruptions that are happening right now. Start taking advantage of the connectivity that we're experiencing right now. Connectivity between one person to the other, connectivity between businesses to businesses, taking advantage of collaborations. Today, you sit in your kitchen as you mix that milk for your baby, and you're sending a chit chat to someone in Czechoslovakia or Kazakhstan or the US, you know, trying to talk about what your dreams are, trying to connect, trying to know where you can sell your goods, trying to know what curriculum you should be taking your child through. Everything is on our fingertips. What can we do now to take advantage of all of this? Huh? I feel so excited to be talking about this, and I know that the women on this call have a very deep desire to be more and to do more. And I just want to say that the time is now. The time is now. The time is now for you and me to bring this awareness right in front of us and ask ourselves questions. What is it I can do differently? Doesn't matter my circumstance. Okay? What is it that I can do differently? What kind of skills, what kind of capabilities do I need to grow as a woman right now to bridge the gap between where I am at currently and where I want to go? Okay? I know that many of us have thought about these things, but you're not sure in what context you can come out actually and serve or and play big. If you have had these ideas in your mind and you're taking forever, start actioning on them. Then seek help, seek support. Get coaches, get mentors, get people who have walked this journey before you, people who have experienced the kinds of things that you want to do, and ask critical questions so that in the process, you're able to start drawing pictures, however faint, the journey is before you, okay? I'm just here to remind you that we live one life, ladies. We live one life. If you have ever birthed any idea on the inside of you, I call it a potential. If you have ever birthed a potential on the inside of you, just know that that is a real possibility. Why? Because we never birth the same things at the same time. We're unique individuals. We never have the same business ideas. We never dress the same. We never think the same. If in your heart of hearts, you have birthed an idea to write a book, to start a community project, That is your idea. Don't shelve it. Start thinking of ways of putting it into action, because you're not going to have another life. You're not going to have an opportunity waiting for you to create impact. Maybe the story that you should be sharing in that book is what 500 other women are waiting for to get their worlds opened up, simply because you shared a story. Maybe that community library you want to open up is what women in your community are waiting for to learn about the computer. But you're seated here busy shelving it because you're busy on an 8-to-8 job. You're busy in your business. You have birthed a potential. Support other women to skill up, to share your knowledge as a financial expert, as an HR expert. Don't take that potential for a joke. It's a real baby. And the time is now for you to start thinking of ways of bringing that potential into reality. Most of the change that we desire to see or create is transformational in nature, and hence we cannot cause transformation if on our own we're non-movers, we are doubters, we fear to take the next step. We doubt our very existence. There's no magic that is going to happen behind the curtains. We have to come up and take our place and do that we came here to do. All right? So I'd like to bring us back home. Before I do that, I'd like again to touch base with all of us. What is coming up? Please feel free to share in the chat what is coming up for you before we continue. What is coming up for you? Melanie, any comments in the chat?
They are coming.
Okay.
Personally, what is coming up for me is to focus on your destiny contribution.
Thank you so much. Start focusing on your destiny contribution. It doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter what your experience is. It doesn't matter how much you know. Do you have that thought in you? Start asking yourself why. What else is coming up? Thanks, Melanie.
Don't obsess about what's wrong with you.
Yes.
Build on what is right.
Build on what is right. Okay.
Break the glass ceiling.
Break the glass ceiling. I've gotten so many comments around the glass ceiling. I'm curious to know what it is.
Maybe Judith.
Someone will share. Someone will share at some point. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Any other comments?
We all have a dream. Let's work on it.
We all have a dream. We each have a dream. Agree. We each have a dream. For some of us already know it. Others are in doubt of it. Others are so busy that they have not even paid attention to the clues that are happening on the inside of them to be able to tell what patterns in their lives seem to be connecting. Okay?
Coming out of my shell and be me.
Coming out of your shell and being you. That is very powerful.
I need to live in the now and maximize it.
I need to live in the now and maximize it. Wow.
Start now and stop procrastinating.
Start now and stop procrastinating. Yes.
Have a mindset
Like
that being
that.
female is more than being in a kitchen, but fulfilling our careers.
Being female is more than being in the kitchen. I like that. Our roles right now, ladies and gentlemen on the call, have shifted. Our house roles have been extended into the market. Okay, so it's up to us to decide how to manage those roles, but we are no longer only in the kitchen. We are doing so much. Okay, keep them coming.
It's okay not to know everything.
Thank you. It's okay not to know everything. Who knows everything? Do we have people on this call that know everything? Doesn't
No.
matter how many books you read in a year. Do we know everything? I don't know everything. I'm a knowledge seeker. I keep looking for knowledge everywhere I go. Okay, so it's okay. Start where you are. Any other?
Tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Thank you. As the comments keep coming up, I would like to stop sharing for a minute. And I have 74 people on the screen. I'd like to invite you to switch on your cameras for just a minute or two. Ladies, please switch on your cameras or your videos. Oh, hi, Alan. Hi, people. Good to have you on the call. I know it's been a long, many minutes now, or already moved into an hour. Janet, can we put our hands up and stretch a bit as we prepare to dive into the next phase? For those of us who can stand up and stretch. Twist your neck to the left and to the right, the center and up. Say, unmute and say, I'm present.
I'm present.
I can't hear you.
Present.
Say, I'm ready.
Present.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Josephine, I can see you. We are all ready. We are ready to move.
I'm present.
Yes, you are present. I'm glad that you are present. It's nice to have you on the call.
I'm
Hi,
ready.
We are ready. All right, good. At least now I know I'm not alone on the call with Melanie.
You're not alone.
Good. Good. All right, so I will share my screen again now. Hope that was a good break. And yes, and all we are saying is get into action. But before we get there, I know that you may be asking yourself right now, how on earth, Eileen, do I confidently move into this space of influence? What is this space? What is it about? Me? Carol? Who do I know? What do I know? What do I have? If you have those questions right now going on in your mind, say, aye. Yeah? How do I move into this space that Eileen is talking about? And yes, you can move into this space if you pay attention to the 4 key things that I'm about to share. Number 1, start by asking yourself, my screen is not moving. My screen is not moving, but I have something here. I think it will move at some point. But the first question that I would like to pose to all of us is, what have you believed about yourself in the past? Okay, What have you believed about yourself? Who are you? Maybe let me start there. Who are you? So one of the actions that we need to consider is our mindset, the kinds of orientations that we have up till now. When you look at yourself, you see your mindset plays a critical role in the way you cope with your life challenges, okay? And maintaining an identity that is strong helps you build your character and helps you boost your confidence. So my question to you is, who are you? What have you told yourself? Or what story have you been telling yourself up till now? Okay? Do you have a growth mindset? Do you have a fixed mindset? What kind of mindset do you have? And what kind of attitude is this mindset presenting for you within spaces where you are right now, as a mother, as a business owner, as an employee, you know? What story do you tell yourself? Is it an empowering story? So the minute we are able to wake up and understand who we are, okay, that's a conversation that you have got to sit down with. You sit down with yourself and handle. You're not going to learn about who you are from a book. I'll share with you who I think I am. I'm a child of God above everything else. I'm a child of God. And because I am a child of God, I am catered for. That's what the scriptures say. My identity is in God, okay? Who are you? Where is your identity? When everything else fails, where do you go? And my screen is not moving. Let me just stop sharing and share again. See.
Oh.
It's a minute. See if some magic will happen. Okay.
Can you try closing the doing it again?
Let me just try it again and see. I think it will work out. Ladies, who are you? Keep the chats coming. Who do you think you are? What have you believed about yourself? Any messages in the chat? Okay, they're saying that it is your mindset that will give you new results. Even as I talk about all of these global opportunities, even as I talk about the opportunities that are at your doorstep, for as long as your mind is not open to even receive this conversation I'm sharing with you, then chances are that it is closed, okay? Or chances are that you will not move into new results because your mind has closed off. So when we talk about a growth-oriented mindset, we're saying that already you're curious to know what's new, what's out there, what else can I do, you know, as an individual? What more? Who can I go to? You know, what information am I missing? You're asking growth-oriented questions, okay? Vis-a-vis a person who is stagnant, who thinks that what they know up to till this point is enough. And whoever told it to them told them the final truth. They're not questioning anything. Okay, so question is, where is your mindset? Or right now, what are you feeding to your mind in regards to your growth, or in regards to your ability to step up and take action at a different level? Okay, so as you think about the mindset, we have is research that has been shared, but maybe I'll share that on a different slide. Let's quickly go to number 2. Number 2 is about you and me breaking our inner glass ceiling. When ladies on the call kept talking about the inner glass ceiling, I kept thinking, what's next to my presentation? Yeah? What you have, this is also in close relationship with what I just mentioned about the mindset. Let me just bring the story home here. What have you accepted in your mind that is limiting you and your potential? What is your inner story, like I said, that is informing your being right now? Yeah. It's research that has been done by biologists that has shown that 80% of what creates your life experiences or your life situations is shaped by the kind of information that you have on the inside of you. 20% external circumstances, 80% the information that you have let trickle down into your mind is therefore feeding every thought. How does that sound? Yeah? How does that sound? Have you experienced a situation? And I'm saying this because of, again, the work that I have done in the past couple of months. I've been, gotten an opportunity, to be invited to talk to women leadership teams or women leaders, just to encourage them to step, to grow their skills or to gain the confidence to go, and apply for bigger roles within their organizations. These roles are there, but the women, for some one reason or the other, are not applying. And this is not in one organization. I've experienced this this year in, I think, 4 different organizations. Senior management teams are sitting down and they're trying to make sure that women within the organizations are catered for. And they're even going ahead to spoon feed these women to tell them, look, the opportunity is there, put in your application. But the woman's mind, the story in her mind is saying, that is not your place. Don't even bother. These are not your roles. Just leave it. Wait for something else. If that is not the story, some of the women internally are saying, if Janet failed last year, he failed on that job, who am I? I would rather keep away. So even if the senior management team is presenting the opportunity, the woman here in her mind is stuck. It doesn't matter what kind of suit she's putting on. It doesn't matter what kind of makeup she has on. Her mind is in a tight knot. You know those women. Is a glass ceiling in her mind that she has to break. Does that now answer you why, even when I shared about the statistics that are at a global level, and then the ones that are saying, we still feel invalued, we still feel not valued in the workplace. The mind, the inner story, the glass ceiling is stopping you from seeing what you should be seeing. So I want you to bring that fake story to light today. What is that story? Who has told you in the past that you're not good enough? Who has told you that you're not worth anything? Who has told you that your life will end at middle management or at entry-level position in an organization? Who Who has told you that you're going to die working on a hustle, not building a business empire? Yet the world is waiting for you to open up branches of your businesses all over the world. Men are doing this, women are doing this. You too can do this. Because of your inner ceiling, you treat your business as a hustle. You're seeing it as a hustle from day one. At what point will you see it as a real, dignified business? Because you're seeing it as a hustle, you're still struggling with the problems of side hustlers, side hustles. Because you're seeing it as a hustle, you're not seeing the relevance of registering it under URSB. Saying it's a small business, you know, I just drive my car and sell these clothes. When are you going to create a clothing line that is fully fledged? When are you going to create that brand that is legit in Africa? When are you going to do these things? See? No one can help you to see that even as an entrepreneur for as long as you have an inner glass ceiling. And if the world came and landed on your feet, unless you broke through yourself, no one will lead you to a table. We're together. So as human beings, I know that we desire to gain fulfillment in different areas of our lives. And for women, there is research again that indicates that for us to get to a level of self-actualization, we need to, create impact around these key 8 areas, around our love and relationship or intimacy space. We need to gain confidence in our finances or to get finances. We need to gain fulfillment around our purpose or what most of us call calling. We need, because we're on a constant search for our purpose. Women have looked for purpose. I know even men look for purpose, but the way women hunt for it these days, I'm a coach, I know. Everyone is asking, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? Your purpose is not going to fall from heaven and come and land on your laps. You need to start working on something, and as you work on it along the way, doors will be revealed to you. You will attract information that will lead you to the next step. Okay? That is how purpose happens. You start on it. Okay? Another key area that women need to significantly grow into is getting authentic confidence. Okay? Women need to build thriving careers. We so desire to do that. We desire to be creative in all ways, as parents, as mothers, as women, as wives, as business leaders, as managers. Our creativity needs to grow. We need to radiate, to be able to be in good health, have vitality in us, yeah? And most importantly, we need to be connected spiritually. Okay? We need to be connected spiritually. If you have a tick on all of these places that I have just mentioned, then you're moving into level, you're self-actualizing. That is where you are at. If you look at the Maslow hierarchy pyramid. But my question to you is, on a much deeper level, what have you believed about these areas? What are your beliefs on finances? Do you have this story of the way we come from? No one even owns a piece of land. Where we come from, no one has ever become a manager. So who am I? Can't you take?
Sorry.
Where I come from, people never get married. And so I don't expect much for me or my children. Can you imagine that fake story? You have believed it. You have believed that in your lineage, there are no business moguls. And so you cannot even attempt to be the first one. What? You have believed that in your family, people die of high blood pressure in your family and cancer. You're just waiting for your turn. Is that what you have believed? Honestly? What have you believed? I want you to bring, in your clear moments, to bring that story to light. Ask yourself in the mirror, Nancy, what have I believed? Because when you look at those 8 areas, the area where you have the biggest doubt, the biggest gaps, is the one you should be working on right now after this call. Which one is that area? Huh? What do you believe about beauty as a woman? Believe that you're not beautiful, yeah? Because you have been told you're not beautiful. You're truly not beautiful. If I was made in the image of God and I know that everything God has created was beautiful, I'm beautiful because I am one of those things. I'm not wait for anyone to come and tell me how beautiful I am. I know it, for crying out loud. Oh, I know it. No? What have you believed about power? That it's only men who should have power? Or that it's only women who have gone to school, or women who are in high places, whatever high places means, or women who have a lot of money who should have power? No, you have power in your corner there. In your business, you have power. Okay? What have you believed about your capabilities? That because you don't have a degree, the whole world will come to an end? That's an inner glass ceiling. At least be in the zone of, I need to match up, and so I'm going to look for the next certificate or the next paper for me to match up. That one is progressive thinking, a growth mindset. It's better than saying, oh, I don't have that paper and that's it. What have you believed about your class? Here, people these days have classes. Let me drop that one. I don't know about classes. What have you believed about your age? Someone talked about imposter syndrome. Yeah? That you cannot go and share your knowledge about tech because you're 20, because you're 16. That you cannot give advice to 40, 50-year-olds because you're young, you have no experience. Who said that? Your experience at that level is very different from experience of 40, 50-year-olds, 30-year-olds. It's very different. Okay? And so it has meaning. Believe in yourself and share that information with them. Okay? What have you believed about your connections? That you don't have connections? That you don't have networks? For me, I just stay here in my business. I fear to connect because people don't want other people in their spaces. You've created all of these things that I cannot understand just to get a phone call and call somebody, call Harriet, call Suzanne, call Sarah, call Allen and say, I need support with this. I need guidance. Lead me into this space. If they say no, well and good, you'd have done your job, but do it anyway. Together, do it. Do it. I started calling myself a connectologist. Don't ask me what it means. It's just a new word that I like. I love to connect with people. Because I love to connect people, even in my career right now as a coach, I've tried to connect with the best 10 best coaches in the world. I've so far connected with 5. Because I'm curious to know, what are they made up of? What is it that they do as coaches that I cannot do? What is it that I can learn from them? And so when I write to them on LinkedIn, I say, I would like to learn from your wisdom. They're taken aback, asking this chick, what's wrong with her? What does she want? I'm just expressing my interest. If they don't respond, it's still okay. I would have done my part, but I have a goal. I have a goal to be better, you ladies. I have a goal not to stay the same. I have a goal to create impact. There is no way I'll do it on my own. I need other people's support. So my belief around connection for me is open. It's saying, go, it's okay. If for you, you're caged in your room and you're thinking, I will not, because I fear, you don't even know why you're not doing it. Onus is upon you. Okay? What have you believed about being a woman, that you're weak, that you don't have substance? Those things, just throw them out of the door because they're not true. Okay? Always ask yourself, stories that I have believed, how do they make me feel? Do they make me feel enough? Do they make me feel worthwhile? Or do they make me feel invisible? Do they make me feel inadequate? Do they take up my space? You know, they make me feel not connected. They put me in isolation. What stories are you telling yourself when the world is not listening to you? When you are alone in your room, the mirror, what have you believed, ladies? If what you have believed is the one standing in your way between where you are now and where you dream to go, question that block, seek help. And the good thing is we have so many coaches on the call. Okay? If you have believed that getting a coach is damn expensive, that's a fake belief. If you have believed that getting a mentor is a wastage of time, funny belief. Be in it and take action. If the story you have believed is dark, it's not serving you, this is the time for you to bring it to light and laugh at it and appreciate how fake it has actually been and how unreal. What is coming up for us up till this point? We have 2 more points to go and I'll let the doors open. But up till now, what is coming into your mind about breaking our inner glass ceiling? Any chats, Melanie?
Yes.
Are people still on the call?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Can't wait to hear what
Yes,
the thoughts are.
We have self-prophecy, which is a breaker.
Yes.
Spiritual connection is very crucial. Katie says it has helped her a lot.
Okay.
Indeed, your mind is your biggest enemy.
Your mind can be your biggest enemy. You have just removed the cover off that belief. You know it. Your mind can be your biggest enemy. Interesting.
Justin has a testimony. She says, agree on culture. I have been a victim where culture has tried to put me down, that I am a woman and so certain decisions should be left to the man. I have defied this and this has led me to live under fire. But because I believe in myself and being a child of God, I have remained strong.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. It is very powerful. As you move on that journey, you don't have to go alone. Okay? You don't have to go alone. You can seek for support from other women. There are so many women, even on this call, you know, that would be ready to support you. Okay? Because culture has done many things to all of us. Yeah? But again, we've got to keep our minds afloat. We've got to keep ourselves afloat. Okay? We've got to keep aware every time. Any other comments?
Take heed what you believe.
Take what?
Take heed on what you believe.
Take heed on what you believe. Very, very true. Very, very true. Okay.
And Lydia is cheering you on. She says we are enjoying.
Great, if you are enjoying. And if you are enjoying, I'm just here to say that the story that you tell yourself on a daily should be a story that highlights your natural brilliance. Woo. Should be a story that gives you, or that gets you to appreciate your God-given power and wisdom. Should be a story that amplifies your gifts and talents. Should be a story that amplifies your abilities as a woman. That is the story you should dwell on a daily, despite everything else that is happening in your environment. Third action we need to do is a big assumption that up till this point, we have broken all those fake patterns. We have unveiled all these fake stories, and we have replaced them with life-giving stories. When we do that, then we shall unlock what we call a true feminine radiance. When you unveil that story and replace it with a story that gives you more life, you will have discovered the source of your own true value in a way that will free you to become more visible to your authentic self. Do you know that, I'll use the example of business because I know there are many business women on this call, that our businesses are failing because we are bringing fake identities into them. You know how many fake entrepreneurs we have? And because our businesses are us, we bring that fakeness into our businesses. I learned this from a friend of mine, Rose. I don't know whether she's on this call. He always tells me that for as long as the business owner is fake, even their business will be fake. Because what they're transmuting to their business is fakeness, not authenticity. Even the way you deliver on your product and services will be fake. And guess what? People always know when you're not authentic. People always know when your story is not authentic. People know when you give ideas or deliberate on issues from a place that is not authentic. Why are we consistently in the mode of copying everyone else, not trusting our own intuition, not trusting what the Spirit keeps giving to us on a daily? Okay, some of us don't trust ourselves in silent moments. That's why we fear to be alone. We need to create alone time, ladies and gentlemen, because in that alone time, some people call it prayer time, you know, it's the time when we download things to us. I've read fantastic stories of, companies amongst the 500 Fortune companies that have got business leaders that source, their energies of creativity just from being quiet, just from spending quiet time. For us, we are so busy. A guy or a lady comes up with a fantastic idea, and within 1 year, the business idea has broken even already. Together, what do those people feed on? Some of them have confessed that they take off quiet time. Just listen in. Please, on the call, have quiet time. Time when you shut down. Remember when we started the call, I requested that you be present. I was very intentional with that because I needed you to be here. Okay? So discover your true value and be more visible to your authentic self. Ideas don't have to be in books only, do not have to be on TV, you don't have to be with friends. Every simple small idea you get, you go and question it with 1,000 people, and then those 1,000 friends leave you doubting whether you even thought about that reason. Oh my God. Huh? Sometimes you just need to be quiet and trust the download that we have in us. Sometimes that is the answer that you need, but you keep doubting it, and then you go messing up. So we need that quiet time. So in spite of all of your imperfections, deliberately choose to embody your radiance fully, because no one can do that for you. And once you do that, then that is what you confidently bring in your space of influence. Okay? Once you do that, then you're just allowing your brilliance to shine. I always tell my colleagues who know me, that whenever I'm even coming for this meeting, I always invite my brilliance to come with me. It doesn't matter what conversation I'm going to have. I don't want to leave my brilliance at the door. I always walk with it. I invite it. Because there are times when your brilliance is absent. Just allow yourself to move with your brilliance. Okay? Summon it whenever you need it, so that it helps you think through things, so that it helps you when you're making decisions. Okay? When you unlock your true feminine radiance, you fall more in love with yourself because you now know yourself better. You know your identity, you know the things that knock you off, you know the things that strengthen you, you know the things that get you in a courageous or bold, let me not call it a mood, but you know those things that make you feel adequate enough to be. Okay? When you unlock your feminine radiance, it's like saying, I am of value. Okay? Have self-worth as a woman. And that is what gives you what I call a sense of entitlement. You now run away from those inadequacy stories and you step into a space where you know I'm entitled to be here. I deserve the best. I deserve to be loved. I am safe where I am, so I can take action. It is okay for me to thrive. You're literally not lighting the candle and putting it under the table. You're lighting it and standing at the rooftop and saying, hooray, here I am. Come see what I have. I'm ready to share together. You're blowing that light, and the more you brighten that light, you keep lighting, giving light or sharing your light with other women. It is creating impact. How can you share that warmth, that glow, that shine, that light when it is under the table? You can't. You've gone to school, you've gotten all of these certifications, and you're hiding under the table. Hello? What are you doing? The one causing the gap that I shared at the beginning of the talk. Okay? You've got to know that you deserve the best. It's okay. So the question we may be having right now is, Eileen, how can you know that you are worthy? How do I know that I'm worthy? I'll tell you my own story, and I said it earlier, that I subscribe to God. So my very existence here is enough. I know that I'm worthy. And no one can steal that worthiness away from me. I know it. It's what I breathe. It's what I use in my times of weakness. I know that despite everything else, despite my imperfections, despite what has not worked out, despite what I haven't been able to accomplish, today, it is okay. It is well. So when I go to my bed to sleep, I sleep like a baby. It's okay. Knowing that the next day, the world is not crumbling on me, I'll start where I stopped. It's okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay not to win a conversation. It's okay. Don't beat yourself too hard. How do you know that you're worthy? I have questions for you. One, let me read it. How can I start showing up in a way that expresses my true radiance? Ladies, how can you start showing up in a way that expresses your true radiance? In a way that expresses your beauty and essence? That's a question. I hope someone is capturing them. There are 4 questions. The next question is, What might it be like for me to express love and care with a genuine expression of who you truly are? You see, how can you express love and gratitude from a good place? From a non-crowded place? Always here. Women have fake relationships. She can be smiling at you, but when she's not smiling, you know those things. I don't believe them. If they're there, let them be there. Okay? I don't believe them. But now I'm asking you, I'm now coaching, I'm asking questions. How might it be like for you to express yourself fully? What does it take away from you? What good does it bring to you, your community? Third question, what is your interpretation of success up till this point? And how can you create it for yourself from a baseline of feeling incredibly worthy? Okay? What is your interpretation of success? Again, story. Go back and look at your story of success and see what is not true, okay, in it, and start creating better interpretations that will take you to another level. Success is not for a few. I don't even know what success is, but I know that we all understand it in our own ways. For me, success may be that I have completed having this conversation with all of you. That is my success. Big one. For your success may be getting 200,000 US dollars by the end of next month. I don't know. What is success to you? Define it and start working it in a way that is manageable for you. Okay? Fourth question, what is your unique contribution to the world? If you came from this place of radiance, what would your contribution be? Huh? And what is your unique voice? What is your unique voice? Because that is the voice that will sell you or that will take you places, that will bring you to the table. Unique voice. Okay, like I said, we are all unique beings. I have what I call a document. They call it, let me call it a mantra. That I crafted for myself that really energizes me. I don't know where it is, but I'll look for it. Okay, so let's move to our third step. So once our radiance is up, once we step into our radiance and our brilliance, then we are able to step into impact and influence. You see where the journey started? I'd like to say that, ladies, this is a big call for all of us to fully engage in ways that ignite new possibilities for us and the world. From all the coaching work that I have done, there's always that question. How do I go there where I dream to be? Huh? I know so many of us, even men, ask this question. You know, how do I get there? I don't know where, but we all have certain pictures of where it is we want to go. Okay? How does influencing look like? What does it mean to step into impact and influence? Okay? So, stepping into impact and influence, and I just want to conclude by, to share with you this last point, simply means that you're waking up to share your magic, to unleash your magic in the world in a big way, okay? To use your ideas, to share your God-given gifts and talents with the world. Not only, remember, not only with yourself, with you and with others. That is where impact comes in. And I think that that picture shows you someone is in the lead and they've impacted all of these other fish. You know, they're also empowered to move in a certain way. This is what impact is about. So playing this game, ladies and gentlemen, requires you to step up. It requires you to step forward. Okay? So I want to challenge you, you know, what are those ideas, those potentials that you have been putting aside, calling up your old customers and telling them about your new products, sponsoring other people into spaces. You're in a good place, but you don't even want to sponsor anyone. You want to be there alone. You won't succeed when you are alone in that space, I want to tell you. You will be there, but not for long. If you can create an opportunity for another woman, hold her hand and take her. Let her figure things out, but lead her to that step, okay? What have you been putting off? Going back to school? Go to school. Find out ways of going to school. Take advantage of, you know, what is online today, the information that is online, and go back to school and equip your capabilities. Have you been putting up, sharing knowledge? Share it, yeah? So I just want to conclude by saying that, or by reminding you that for as long as you are on this call and whoever will be watching this video, you have always been powerful. You have always been great. You have been this way for a long time. It's just that sometimes something covers your eyes, but you are. That is how God created you to be. Therefore, the choice to level up and leap into your greatness entirely lies upon you. Okay? There are millions of people waiting for you to take action so that their lives can be elevated. There are so many. They're just waiting for you. Doesn't matter what opportunities the new world order presents. For as long as you're living in doubt, you're living in fear, you're believing in your old stories, you are simply choosing to play a small game. So I want to charge you this evening, whatever impact you feel, whatever sense that you feel you could make in this lifetime, go for it. Your gifts, go for it. Multiply it times 10, times 10 again, times another 10. Go. This is the time. I salute you all. Thank you all for listening to me.
Wow. What a wonderful presentation from you, Eileen. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I don't know if you have questions in the chat.
Yeah, by the way, it's time for questions.
Everyone is sending flowers.
Comments.
Sheila, uplifting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and share your God-given gifts has been Lydia's take home.
Okay. Please feel free to ask any questions, to post them in the chat. Thank you, Lydia. Brenda.
Looks like you have to share your contact with the people in the group. They are asking for your contact.
I'll just put it on the screen. Is it there?
OG? Yes, it's there on the screen.
Okay. Any questions coming through?
Teddy says thank you so much, and she has learned a lot today. She'll share her experience everywhere she goes.
Oh, great. Thank you. Hey, is Primera around?
I am not seeing her on the call.
Should I close?
If we
Ladies,
do not have...
anyone has anything to say, please feel free to unmute and say something. Please say something. Thank you, Eileen. You dispelled all the thoughts I had today. Your message is much appreciated. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you so much, Harriet. Anyone would like to say anything before we close?
Eileen?
Yes?
Can I speak?
Yes, you can.
I know this is girls for girls, but I'm speaking using my wife's.
Okay.
I watched you.
Yes.
I listened to you.
Yes.
I just want you to tell us where you got this confidence and articulation and clarity. Is it through your mother and father? Is it through your school, maybe you are in Gayaza or Namagunga? Is it through the training you have gone through, so that people can see your pathway and say, let's take it that way as part of building our capacity to your level?
That's a good one. Where did I get my confidence? Where did I get clarity? It's been a journey, I must say. It's been a whole journey. I remember different phases in my life that have taught me things. From my workspace, from being a mother, from being a young girl growing up, from being in school. So many experiences that have shaped me. I've interfaced with people who have asked me questions. I've interfaced with people who have given me comments that have propelled me, to think differently about my life. But I just want to show that be here. I've done a lot of soul search. Okay, like I said when I started, I'm a learner. And I ask so many questions. Are we together? So I had to reach that point in my life where I said, enough is enough. This is my dream. This is where I want to go. And I will not go there if I don't stop certain behaviors and attitudes. Okay? There's a time when I felt that for me, for example, to get into the corporate world and contribute meaningfully, I had to go back to school. I took action, even after giving birth to how many children? I went back to school. We're together. There was a time in my life, when I'll share this one. In 2019, I think, I had stayed at home for, I was like on a sabbatical. I was out of work, completely out of corporate world for about, I think, a year or two. During that time, so many things happened. I started homeschooling my children. I did so many things in my small village there. But the time when I woke up and I told myself, Eileen, is this all? Is this all? And as all the beautiful people, I have a wonderful family, I have wonderful friends, I have connections. And people used to ask, Eileen, what else? And I told myself, no, I think I've done it all. Really? But that one night when I woke up, I told myself, Eileen, see, you can't even talk anymore. I said, what? I can speak. My husband told me, you can't speak. Before you know it, by next year, you won't even be able to present, to say thank you to a group of 5 people. I was like, what? You know what I did? I woke up in the morning, I went in the mirror and crowned myself the best speaker in the world, in the mirror, in my room. And what followed that was an action. I looked up for Rotary clubs in Uganda. I wanted to go for East Africa, but I started in Uganda. And I booked appointments to speak. I didn't even know what to talk about. I didn't know. I said, you know what? Once they give me a date, I will prepare. You guys, that year I spoke for 12 months. I spoke 12 times in 12 different Rotary clubs. And I never remained the same. What did I do? I took action. Before certifying as a coach, I went in my small mirror during, way before the pandemic. And I told myself, Eileen, you have done training, you've done business advisory, you've certified at international level, because the kind of work that I was doing then was good work. And I asked myself, what else need to occur to me? Coaching was the next natural thing for me to do. It's a long story. And then I started asking, how do I certify the best schools, the best coaching schools in the world? I went for the first 10, I couldn't afford the fees. I went to the next best 20, I could not afford the fees. Until when I came to the schools here in Kampala. And one of the reasons why I'm heading a coaching academy is because as Coach Africa, we believe that coaching skills should be made available to whoever wants to gain them. It's also partly because of my story. I couldn't afford to get certified as a coach. And guess what did I do? I went to my mirror. And I clients in the US, I had clients because I was on the road. Remember that thing I told you of, you don't wait for your purpose to fall on your laps? I started somehow taking action. And one thing led to the other, and I ended up in a good school. And I certified. Took action. So I'm slowly taking action on the potentials that I keep birthing. And I know that there's a lot more to come. I'm not yet fine. I'm just on the road, just like all of us. I hope that that answers your question, or kind of gives you an insight.
Eileen, you have answered it beyond your expectation, and you can see my comments are putting. You really given us a lot of sound bites. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
And continue doing more of this.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any other questions, ladies, on the call? Right. So if there are no questions, just switch on your videos and we say bye-bye to each other. It's been a beautiful time. You can imagine I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I love this space. And I hope that from this conversation, you have picked a thing or two that you're ready to take action. Hi, Alan. Ladies, switch on your videos and I see you as we say bye-bye to each other. Bana, nice to see you. Hey, Janet. Hi, Rona, Gassi, Agnes, Rachel.
Hi.
Miriam, hi. Nice to connect with you. I hope you've enjoyed this session the way I have enjoyed it.
Hi, Elaine.
Hi.
It's been amazing.
Oh, that's good.
I am
I know-
proud to start. Thank you, Elaine.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I know Primela is not on the call, so we'll just keep logging off. Feel free to log off. This is the end of the session. It's been a real pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Some people are just coming in.
Ellen,
Yes.
a question in the chat. Someone is asking for your role models, mentors, or even books. That's
Who are my role models? I have role models in different categories. My role models in terms of my career are different. My role models in terms of being a wife are different. My role models being a mother are different. I may not mention names here, but let me give you the categories. Find role models in every facet that impacts on your life. Create what we call a personal board. You know how organizations have board of directors? Create a personal board. Pick areas in your life that you feel are critical to you and get people to mentor you in those areas. Okay? Of course, my mother is one of them. My sisters have, I have mentors and coaches at the local level, midway, and at the top. Okay? So I can share that with you, but yes, create a personal board and summon it whenever you need it. Summon it, relate with them, tell them about your objective. Tell them your objective is to grow and that the reason they're there is to support you to grow on that path. They will guide you. Otherwise, stop moving alone. Stop moving by yourself. You can't win by yourself. You cannot. I hope that speaks to someone.
yes, it does.
Yes. Are we saying bye at some point?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Eileen. It has been a very insightful session. Personally, I have so many takeaways. I don't even know where to start from. And I have picked so many questions that I need to question myself. And I know that this is going to be a stepping stone for me. I don't know if it is the same for any other person out there, but we are grateful. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for moving with these lessons everywhere and for holding our hands. We really appreciate you, your time, and we are so grateful.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you for hosting me.
Okay. Justin is so happy. He keeps saying thank you. I don't know if saying.
Thank you.
Please feel free to leave the call. The meeting has come to an end.